Hello, how's it going? So, in this quick video, look at my fucking light. Too good. Sorry. So, in this quick video, I'm going to show you how you film 30 days of content for your YouTube and Instagram by just spending 2 hours per week, like maximum. 90% of you creators are making this mistake. So, quickly, I'm just going to give you a bit of a brief on why you should listen to me and who am I and what I've done for clients. My name is Abdullah. I run a content marketing agency. I work with a lot of clients, Sebastian, Georgia, Ecom King, all that. So there's a card going to be up here if you want to know what are the clients that I work with. The problem is really simple. It is that you guys are why most creators fail to stay consistent. And the consistency is the only game that matters in this fucking gambling horseshit of social media. Trust me, these are all tick, 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 tick gambling platforms. You need to post all the time. So that's why you need to make sure that you stay consistent regardless of the circumstances. So the reason why most creators fail to stay consistent is because they are constantly brainstorming daily, right? It gets them mentally exhausted. They have competitors flooding all of their platforms while they struggle to maintain content quality in even one of them, right? They have no structured system. You motherfucker have no structured system. No offense, brother, but you have low output, low engagement, and no leads because you feel like, oh, I put a video, it should be one of the best, but it does not just go up because you don't have a structure. So if you relate to this, I'm going to solve this in this video, and this system will solve it. So what you'll achieve with this system is that outcome of this system is that you will be able to batch 30 days of content in just 2 hours per week. You will be able to stay consistent on YouTube and Instagram video content. I'm just going to talk about these two platforms because that's what I'm professional at. I'm not going to talk about others. So you are going to remove yourself from your creative burnout and it will help you triple your output, right? So that's exactly what I'm using. That's why I'm able to make all these videos. So there's a reason why you need to batch weekly instead of monthly because the main question you might have in your mind is that, Abdullah, why not we batch 1 month of content in just one sitting? And the reason is very simple. If you're in the business niche and if you want to be really good with your shit, I would always advise you to, batch weekly. And the truth about content consistency is that you can't pre-film 30 days in one sitting because the trends are going to change. Some videos are going to work. Some videos are not going to work. So if I batch all the content on 1st of the March, those ideas may not be applicable or those trends may not be applicable at the end of the March. So you need to make sure you're batching every single week, right? That's why I said batch in 2 hours per week. That's a sweet spot. You need to make sure to batch week. Now you might have another question that, okay, Abdullah, how can you or how can we come up with content ideas for the next 30 days? I'm just going to showcase you what is our process and how we do this for our clients and ourselves so you can probably replicate it. So it's very simple. We use client story and we use ChatGPT project management. We basically get this onboarding form from our clients. So they give us all of their story. They give all their information about all their ideation niche, like all the information we need from the client side. We get this through this document. And once we get all this document on the onboarding call, I basically use this system to basically, come up with a full project, which is 100% dependent upon the client. Then we feed it all of this information of the client onto the ChatGPT project. And then that ChatGPT project basically helps me come up with content ideas for the client according to the client's life story. That's how it helps me, okay? That's how we do it. And then we use YouTube keywords and all those strategies to basically try to mimic the algorithm. So that's my process. If you want to, you can watch the YouTube video to see how it works. We use a very simple formula. We block one day, one full day, and in that one day, basically what happens is our client blocks out his calendar for one of the days in his week, and on that day we just give him all the content ideas. I even jump on a call with them, right? I jump on a call. So, if they're facing any issues, I can help them fix them. Okay, Abdullah, this script is not making sense here. How do we fix that? I'm going to come in. Okay, this is what we can add here. This is how we can fix it. So I stay on a call with my clients and they just record all the content. I just give them support weekly. So what happens is we come up with all the ideas, we do all the research, they just show up and record. But if you are a solo creator, you need to block out 2 days, right? If you have a team, you need to let your team handle all the stuff and you just do the recording by just blocking out one day. But if you're a solo creator, you need to block out 2 days. And in the first day, you're going to do all the market research, niche study, idea generation, right? Searching what your competitors are posting, what type of content you want to post. And then you need to have a 2-3 day gap in between the day of research and the day of recording. So if you are doing the research on Saturdays, you need to record on Tuesday, because that gap period will give you enough time to basically brainstorm and reframe or refine your ideas. So one day you're gonna, if you're a solo, one day you're just going to fully you can say dilute for coming up with content ideas, researching and all that, and one day you're just going to purely just book out for recording the content. Now, in my case scenario, what I do is I have 2 days, and I make sure to do the research on one day, and the second day I make sure in the initial 6 hours I block them out just purely for recording. I make sure my Slack is off, my Discord is off, my communication tabs are off. I do nothing, because the most important task is as I mentioned, the non-negotiable rule is that no Slack, Discord, client calls, emails on recording time frame zone. Block out your calendar completely to get into the creative zone. Your mind is, you're a human at the end of the day. You need to get comfortable, right? You can't just sit on your table and start recording and start giving out free value. The light is going to distract you. All this stuff is going to distract you. So in order to get into your zone, you need to block out your time, right? And even if you're not getting in your zone till to that point, you need to go offline and you need to go for a walk, disconnect, sniff cocaine, motherfuckers, but don't sit in your room, right? You need to go into the nature, make sure you're relaxed, then you come back and start recording, get into your creative zone, right? That's something, your originality is something that no one else can give it to you. Now, this is one of our example process that you can replicate, that how do we basically help our clients with content ideas. So this is how our system looks like. So this is long form content and short form content. So all of our clients have their resources tabs here, everything we need, and we come up with all the content ideas. And for short form videos, we come up with all the videos here. So it's a lot more easier for them to keep a track. We do all the ideation, we do all the scripting, and when it is ready for recording, they just record, and then we send them to the Trello tab and we get them edited and posted. So in your case, you need this template. It is very important because it is going to help you structure things, even for long and short, both of them. So this structure is something I have attached inside. You can have access to my free Notion content calendar template. But if you're the solo person and you want more guidance on, okay, Abdullah, how do I come up with content ideas, bro? Just watch this YouTube video of mine. The card is going to be up here. And if you want to see how I do for Instagram, this video is my live ideation I did. I got 40,000 views because I'm fucking good. Sorry. So for YouTube, it's over there. For Instagram, it's there. So you can see it, learn it if you're doing the solo content. And now you might be wondering, what type of content do I need to film if I have a business niche channel? It's very simple. You need to make sure to have 2-3 content formats. Okay, one of them is going to be very simple, talking head videos, minimal space. You can have 2-3 lightings, and no camera hassle. It should be simple. It's like, okay, I come in, record, set up my lighting and start recording, right? It's a reusable background. The other can be outlier video ideas in which you put a lot of effort, right? The talking head videos, you can make them consistently. An outlier video idea is something that you put a lot of effort in. It should be a bit different than what you usually used to make, because we're trying to cater towards mass audience with that type of content idea. It can be something like a vlog. It can be, one of your sales call meeting. It can be one of your, very highly, produced content idea, which has a Grow Pro and stuff like that, right? So that's a big idea. Then we have screen recording educational videos. That can be Gamma Doc, a lead magnet type of video. Like, this lead magnet video that I'm making, that's also an example of a screen recorded video. So a format that you need in here is very simple. I basically got this from Matthew Larson. I follow this lead magnet technique: title, introduction, table of content, what, why, how, examples. So it basically gives you an idea on what the video is going to be about and how you can provide value to your audience, right? So these are 3 types of content ideas you need to film in order to make sure that you are being consistent, very simply. Now, you might also have question, Abdullah, what the fuck? The things you are telling me, they're going to be making me niche famous. What if I want to go broad famous, right? That way, this is the point where I'm going to cover up the Instagram platform. So what top creators use to scale the system? I work with many creators. I've worked with Iman. I've also seen Tate's backend process. I've also seen Jordan Bound's backend process. And that's how I'm going to basically tell you, how do they create 90 pieces of content every single day, right? It's the B-roll method. And Jordan Bound, Casper SMC, all these clients, they have like 5 to 10 TB of personal footage of their Google Drive, in which all of their B-roll is over there, and they just give it to the clippers to clip the content, right? You at this point, if you have no social media platform, you're not at the clipping state. If you have 200k, 300k subscribers, if you're doing like 100k views on your main Instagram follower account, then it is the right time for you to get into the clipping, and I'll teach you how clipping works. So what happens is that you need 5 to 10 dB of personal footage library, you need one automated omni-channel content machine, and you need one copywriter and a team of editors. Now it's very simple. This is how, like, let me give you an example.
I created a WAP clipping community and we have $5,000 loaded in there. We've only paid out 178 and we're paying $2 per 1,000 views. There are reasons.
So he has over 4 TB of Google Drive footage in which they have all their B-rolls, and what they do is just send them to clippers and they just clip their content. It's simple as that. But if you want to know how you do that, I can also give you an example of how B-roll footage basically looks like. So this is one of my clients, Casper SMC. You can see his Google Drive footage and get an idea on, okay, this is the type of footage all these clients have. Like, it's going to be filled with, okay, we go on Miami trip, there's a bunch of color B-roll, there are photos of his cars, photos of his photos with his family and all that stuff. So it's going to be a lot over here. So on the basis of that, they come up with all these content ideas that the clippers really take care of. As you can see, pictures, raw vlog, short form, thumbnail pics, all those videos, they just clip and come up with bunch of videos and just post across all the platforms. So this is the Tate method, which basically works. Now, what are the key takeaways and why am I telling you this? It's very simple. You need to implement this system today for yourself. And one way or another, if you're like, okay, I don't want to go above 100k, 200k a month, but if you feel like that in future you want to go omni-channel content method, you need to start recording snippets from your iPhone from today. It's very important for Instagram. As I said, I was going to show you how will you automate your Instagram too in here. So it's simple as that. You need to start recording snippets from your iPhone, start compiling either your Google Drive or Firmware footage. You need your gym footage, you need working on your PC, reading a book, walking, fancy jogging, fucking, I don't know, whatever, working on your desk. Over time, these footages will compile up. So you start doing this, it will help you in 2 things. All the YouTube videos you're going to make, now you're going to have your own personal B-roll footage. That's one. Now the second thing which is going to happen is over time, your Instagram is going to be fully automated. You won't need anything. It would be just fully automated by just, we are just going to be repurposing your content types. And that way you can make content ideas like this. Like, I'm going to show you an example of one of my clients. It's Casper. As you can see here, a lot of his videos are B-roll videos. Like, some of them are basically, custom recorded, but videos like this, they do a lot of big numbers. So your Instagram will highly get automated by just making these type of videos. It does a good job at it when you were working on scale. So yeah, as you can see, it's B-roll footage. You just compile some of the videos with it and it works. So that was pretty much the example I wanted to give you guys. And let me give you the last step-by-step action checklist so you can screenshot this. So first thing you need to do in order to implement the 2-hour weekly system is you need to block out your dedicated recording days, no Slack notifications, no emails. You need to protect your mental bandwidth. The first task that you're going to do is content itself. That's the first task that you're going to do, because if you're in the online space creating content, there's nothing more important than that. It's going to move the most needle, and in order to move the most needle, you need to make sure it's the top priority that you have. So block out everything, protect your mental bandwidth, record all your content, and then go on about your day and do admin tasks like work in the business. Then if you're solo, you need 2 to 3 day gaps between 2 days. You need to shut down all the technology to ideate original ideas. You need to constantly add new ideas as you browse or scroll. Step 3 is you need to set up a Notion calendar to manage all your ideas. You can grab my template, comment the word AdX probably, and I'm just going to send that to you. Step 4 is you need to start recording daily B-roll footages for your Instagram and YouTube B-roll assets. You need to build this habit. This is very important. So what's going to happen is that you have to replicate, fill in a Google Drive footage as much as you want. And the step 5 is you can basically hire a copywriter and distribute your content on Twitter and LinkedIn if you want to mass scale. And step 6 is just optimize and repeat weekly. This is the system you need in order to make sure that you are filming content for Instagram and YouTube every single week without burning out.